Now joined by UFC bantamweight Ricky Simone. First question comes from James Lynch with The Score. James, your line is open.
Hey, Ricky, congratulations on the victory. How much weight is lifted off your shoulders when the judges actually got it right and gave you the decision?
I was scared there for a second. I had to look back at my coach, like, what the hell is about to happen? But it feels great. It feels great to be back in the win column.
And, I don't know if you know, MMA Decisions is a site where media members can submit their scorecards. 16 media members scored the fight for you. Not a single one scored it for Borg. How do you think we can fix judging so you don't have a situation like you did tonight where it almost didn't go your way?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I don't. There needs to. I mean, how are like you guys are obviously more knowledgeable than the guys judging us, so that's obviously a big problem. And I always criticize the judges, but it's tough. I don't have the answers either, but something does need to change because that is whack. My nose is messed up.
I think your nose looks good. As far as in the fight, we heard you talking to Ray a lot. Did you find that was easier to do because there was no crowd? Like I heard you guys sort of talking back and forth.
Yeah, I talk a lot when I fight and sometimes when I spar too. And I was just playing. There's no audience. So, I'm an entertainer, and so I was just playing it up a little bit for the fans at home.
And I'm sure you heard the commentary. Did that like sort of influence you a bit in the fight? I'm sure you're hearing DC on the call and everything.
Yeah, I heard DC like call me fat or something. He called me big or something, so I had to flex on him a little bit. But yeah, I can hear the commentary a little bit. And it made it fun.
And last question for me, your wife really made you get rid of the mullet. How come you didn't negotiate that before the marriage?
No, I blame it on her. She always gets mad at me whenever I say that because she doesn't want people to be mad at her. But it's just a joke. I think honestly, I sat down with my coaches and my management after that last fight, and I think when I get hit, the mullet was flying everywhere. It was a little bit too long. So after those two losses, I thought I'd like switch things up, and maybe with a good streak, it'll start peaking back there again.
Enjoy the victory tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Next question comes from Jay Anderson with Cage Side Press. Your line is open.
Thanks very much. And Ricky, congrats on the win. I'm just curious, I mean, how much pressure did you put on yourself after the two losses? Because on one side, no one likes losing, but then it's a Hall of Famer and a fight of the night.
Yeah, I'm always tough on myself. And after that last fight, I just talked to my coach and I was like, what can I do? I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always working on my game. And, I started making the trip over to California to train with Team Oyama, and Coach Colin Oyama's been helping me put my game together a little bit more, mixing things up a little bit more. And so, just they all did a great job tonight. My coach Fabiano Scherner, Colin Oyama, and my cousin Vince Morales, just we had a great game plan, and and we got the win.
You keep getting some tough outs. Faber, Font, now Borg, who's a former title challenger at 125. Are these fights that you're seeking out? Are you seeking out the toughest guys, or does the UFC just know you're a guy who's not saying no?
I don't say no. They call me for a fight. I want to fight. So maybe I'm a firm believer that like I belong here. I got when I got into the UFC, I was 12-1, two-time LFA world champion. So there isn't anyone in the division that I feel like I can't compete against and I can't beat. So they call me with a name, I'm gonna say yes.
And with that in mind, I mean, what's next for you in terms of time frame? I mean, do you know how long you'd like to be out, or you can take some time off? I know it's hard to tell with all the circumstances. And then does Fight Island sound appealing to you?
Yeah, I mean, crazy times right now. Like, I don't really know what's going on. I know that they're gonna be doing shows at Apex and then Fight Island. So I'm just gonna keep working on my game, getting better, and I'm always down to fight. So when they call me, I'm gonna fight.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Ricky. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Shaquille Majuri with MMA Mania. Your line is open.
Congratulations on the big win, Ricky.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, obviously, Ray Borg going into that fight has moved up to bantamweight. That was kind of a circumstance out of his control. It seems like, he really wants to be at flyweight. The promotion wants to be at bantamweight. How do you think Ray Borg performed at bantamweight?
I mean, he's a good fighter. I don't know. Yeah, he obviously has weight issues and stuff like that. So if you can't make the weight, you can't fight at that weight. So I don't know. I felt much stronger than him, and but that's I mean that's something he needs to figure out.
What is the predominant feeling for you now, finally getting back into the win column? Is it relief? Is it excitement? What's going on in your head?
A little bit of relief, but I know I'm doing all the right things. So you know I know I'm just gonna keep getting better, and that's where I belong.
Now, sorry, last thing, not to bring it back to your hair, but did you have that moment that everyone I know with long hair has when they cut it, where you put way too much shampoo on the first time you try and take a shower?
uh, no, but I kept like reaching back to like move it because it was always in the way. So there's a couple times where I went back and I was like, oh, there's nothing back there.
All right, Ricky, congrats on the big win, man.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ricky. You're good to go.
Thanks, guys.